Oktoberfest.
This is Halloween, this is Halloween. Pumpkins scream in the dead of night. This is Halloween, everybody make a scene. Trick or treat, tell the neighbors gonna die of rain. It's our town.
Happy, happy Halloween, Halloween, Halloween. Happy, happy Halloween, silver shamrock. Happy, happy Halloween, Halloween, Halloween. Happy, happy Halloween, silver shamrock.
It's almost time, kids. The clock is ticking. Be in front of your TV sets for the Horathon. And remember the big giveaway at 9. Don't miss it. And don't forget to wear your masks. The clock is ticking. It's almost time.
Happy, happy Halloween, Halloween, Halloween. Happy, happy Halloween, silver shamrock. Happy, happy Halloween.
You ready?
Sure.
Good, because we're recording. So. Welcome back once again to the Project Gen X podcast. As you can tell, Dave's here, and I'm Alan Smith.
I'm Big Dave, and I got a bone to pick with you.
Oh, all right.
What's
All right, you know,
What
for those of
happened?
you who listened to the last episode, I put a little tag on the end of it, and I was telling Dave that, and I kind of explained it in there when I was doing the editing on the. When we sat down to do this, I only had eight movies to begin with. And when I was doing the editing, all of a sudden I was like, oh crap, no, there are these two other movies that should be on this.
Yeah,
You know?
I was actually surprised. After on the drive home, I was surprised that you hadn't mentioned Monster Squad.
I know,
'cause you
and
love
then
that movie so
I
much.
know. And Silver Bullet came to me like when I was doing the editing.
So you brought your total up to what?
I brought
10?
it up to 10, and so
You got a full
I got
top
there.
10.
I got there. It took me, an extra day or so, but
This is why you got to watch the guy who actually edits the show.
yeah. So, anyways, this is it, folks. This is our final episode
This
of
is-
not Project Gen. This is not the final episode.
He's trying to end the podcast. No.
This is the final episode of Oktoberfest 2020.
Tomorrow is Halloween.
Yes, it is, and we're looking forward to it. And we teased this episode at the end of the last one.
Yeah.
And quite honestly, we had to record this one very quickly because Dave said, "Oh yeah, we'll put this one out on Friday, or whatever it was, or Thursday, so that normally we've been putting them out on Friday, and you're like, oh yeah, we'll put this out on Thursday. That way you have time to go and run the stuff down. I'm like, oh, that means that I have like zero time to do editing and get the stuff ready, you know. So,
All right, so we'll put it out on Friday.
No,
like we
it
normally
can still
do.
go out on Thursday. It's not, and I get it because it does give a chance to
Yeah.
kind of run down everything. Now, I will say this on my list.
Saturday is Halloween.
On my list, I have written down where all the stuff is available.
Okay, I didn't do that.
Well,
Actually, I
guarantee
know where one of them is, and I have a rant. I'm actually very not happy.
I can almost guarantee that we're going to have some overlap, and I can tell you where the stuff is available.
Now,
So,
I know originally you said 12 hours.
Mm-hmm.
I did 6. Actually, I did like
I know.
6 hours and 15 minutes.
I meant when you texted me the other night, we're like, is this 6 hours or whatever it was, and
Yeah.
I did the math. I thought at the time I thought to myself, I should probably remind him that it's 12, but I thought, well, maybe he's just doing the so far. Is this what this is? So don't worry, I picked up the slack on this one. So
Well, I don't know why I had it in my head that it was 6.
Right.
But, and it may be because
is
normally
fine.
normally I'm working.
Right.
And I don't get home until like 5:30.
Right.
So I only have like
this being on a Saturday.
being on a Saturday, I've got all day. But
Right.
Normally I've got like literally 6 hours
Right.
to watch Halloween movies on Halloween.
And as you guys can hear in the background, there's candy.
there's all kinds of
I
candy.
know. So
So normally I don't get home until 5:36. I'm
Right.
rushing to
I
kind of
gotcha.
finish up the decorations to get ready for the kids. But I've got some stuff that I can fill in the other 6
Okay.
hours with.
I'm going to let you start and go through yours because I have I have 19 items
Okay.
on my list.
Well,
And I'm not joking, I have meticulously gone through and done this thing. So,
on the 6 hours and 14 minutes that I
Okay.
did, I was meticulous on it.
Okay.
I actually had a calculator out and was doing trigonometry to figure it out.
I know. Believe me, I was doing the same thing.
So I'll make it easy on you. So since I've only got 6 hours, I've basically started at 6 p.m.
Right.
I'll kick back. Usually on TNT, on cable, they run a Supernatural marathon all day during Halloween.
Right.
And
I know you're a big Supernatural fan, you and your wife.
me
so-
and Miss Nay are
yeah.
both big fans of Supernatural. So usually the TV is already on when I get home, and she's been watching Supernatural all day.
They both have crushes on the brothers, so it's
No.
they write fanfic /fic, and it's like,
No, we're not that bad. We're not that bad. I will admit I had kind of a crush on the first Ruby, but
There you
we
go.
won't go there.
there's been more than one Ruby.
Well, there's been
I've never watched the show.
there's
so it's
always been the character of Ruby. The problem is because she's a demon, she jumps bodies.
Oh, okay. It's like Fallen.
Yes.
The movie Fallen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm just gonna fill up the first 4 hours with Supernatural marathon.
Fair enough.
So go ahead and get into your Dave-sized list.
Oh. Okay.
Starting at noon.
Here we go. Starting at noon
Okay.
on October 31st, 2020.
Yeah.
My first one is The Haunted History of Halloween. This is a 1997 production that the History Channel did that they used to play like every year. They have changed it a couple of times over the years. Now I think it's like it's just called The History of Halloween or something like that.
Really?
They kind of reskinned it the way that the History Channel used to do. You know,
Yeah.
where like it would be the same show, but they would put a new intro on it or something like
Yeah.
that. But then they actually went back and redid a whole new one. And I don't like the new version of it.
Yeah.
A few years ago. But here's the thing: it is 45 minutes and 7 seconds long.
Okay.
It is available on iTunes because I owned it where I bought it on iTunes
Oh,
before.
okay.
But it's also all on YouTube.
Oh.
You can watch it on there. I'm
Okay.
sure that it's probably on History. They're history.com or whatever.
I'll have to
whatever,
go
that
look
kind of
because
stuff.
I actually have history.com.
Yeah, so, but it's called The Haunted History of Halloween. It's pretty cool. I mean, and it's pretty,
Yeah.
it's family, and it gets into a little more. It starts with the stuff with Samhain, and it goes all the way up through the 20th century
Yeah.
of, stuff, the big celebrations and this and that and all that kind of stuff. It's pretty cool. I've always enjoyed watching it.
You may have to let me come over and watch it. At
Okay.
some point.
Well, like I said, it's all on YouTube, so I mean,
Yeah.
and you can watch the entire thing, and it's, I mean, like all of it. You don't have to watch it in clips. It's all on there.
Nice.
So
Okay.
the second at 12:45,
Yeah.
the next thing I have here, and I have, like I said, I have 19 things on here,
Yeah.
and I have like episodes of television shows as well.
Oh, okay.
Like actual shows. The first one of those that I have here is, did you ever see the show on Cartoon Network called Over the Garden Wall?
No.
Okay. It came out about 5 years ago. And I'll be honest, it wasn't until recently that I watched it. And it's only like 10 episodes long. It's like a little mini series.
Okay.
But I think it's it's either the second or the third episode. It's called Hard Times at the Huskin Bee. Okay. This is a cute little show, and it's very, very autumnal. About
Okay.
It doesn't really deal with Halloween, but as so much as it deals with the fall of the year.
Okay.
That kind of stuff.
Gotcha.
It is only 11 minutes and 10 seconds long. The episodes are short. They're
Okay.
like, I think the longest episode is like 15 minutes. It's really cool. They have like Elijah Woods does the voice of like kind of one of the main characters, and then what's his name? Dr. Brown. Christopher Lloyd.
Yes.
Does a voice. There are several like voices, like people that It's a cute little show, very kid friendly. My son loves it. Him and his sister have watched it. So, anyways, yeah, it's available on HBO Max, like all 10 episodes, because I think they have all the Cartoon Network stuff. So the next one, starting at 12:56 in the afternoon.
Okay.
Yes, I went through and did this meticulously, if you can't tell.
You got a little bit more detailed than I did.
Garfield in Disguise,
Oh, that's a good one.
which most people, It was, all right, most people know it as the Garfield Halloween special.
Yeah.
Okay. It was originally called Garfield in Disguise. It was, they used to have the little books, the Garfield books, and they would actually do them like for special, like they did the Christmas special, and and what was it, Garfield in Paradise, and the little TV specials. I used to have that book. It was called Garfield in Disguise, and that actually came out before
the TV show.
The television show premiered in '85.
Cool.
I got it like maybe a couple weeks through the Scholastic, thing at school,
yeah.
And so it's one of those things. But when they put it on there, rather than calling it Garfield in Disguise, they were just like, "Oh, it's Garfield Halloween special."
Yeah,
it's available on YouTube. That's the only place I can find it, but it's all on there. It is 24 minutes and 9 seconds long. So this is
nice.
But yeah, it's all on there. Okay, so now we're at 1:20 in the afternoon. I told you I went like
no, that's fine. Do your first 4 hours, and then we'll get into we'll get into my next 2 hours.
Well, something like that. At 1:20 in the afternoon, we're going to watch the season 3 episode of Home Improvement called Crazy for You. Okay? Now, there were 2 television shows through the 90s that always did Halloween episodes. It was Home Improvement and Roseanne.
Yes.
And Roseanne will appear on this list later, okay? Oh, and also The Simpsons. I always do their Treehouse of Horror.
Treehouse of Horror.
I chose this one rather than the first season's The Haunting of Taylor House, because I think this is a better episode.
Gotcha.
Because they spend more time in the costumes here, and it all deals with a prank.
Okay.
Like they're pranking Tim that like he has a secret admirer named Rose that like keeps like leaving him stuff in different places, and and she like leaves a kind of a note saying that she's going to be at the Halloween party.
Yeah.
Whatever. And it's kind of cool because like when they get to the party, he's actually dressed like Beetlejuice, and it's a pretty good costume on top of it all. But yeah, I always love the Home Improvement like all there because every season they had an episode. Same thing with Roseanne. Every season they had a Halloween episode. So now that we've got that, that's 23 minutes and 8 seconds long.
Yeah.
You can watch that on YouTube also. Home Improvement is not streaming anywhere.
Oh, that's too bad.
I take that back. Home Improvement is on Prime. It's on Amazon Prime. That's the only place that you can get it.
Okay.
That's it. Home Improvement is on Amazon Prime and YouTube, and that's it.
Okay.
Which some of this, I went through trying to find some of this stuff, and it's like, what's going on with some of these, So my next one, starting at 1:43 in the afternoon, is a movie you've never seen before. It's Hocus Pocus.
No, I've seen Hocus Pocus.
I thought you just don't like it.
I just don't like it much.
I thought you said you'd never seen it before. So it's 96 minutes long. It is on Disney Plus.
I've seen it. It's like...
It's a good kids movie.
I think I slept through most of it.
So it's on Disney Plus. Come on, the Sanderson sisters. It's a good kids.
By the way,
Halloween movie. So
it is 2020,
right?
So and there's going to be a full moon on Halloween this year. So folks, do us a favor: don't have a virgin light a black candle this year. There's no telling what kind of garbage is gonna.
You know what happens 2 weeks after Halloween?
No.
Roughly, we have a Friday the 13th
again.
Because it starts on a Sunday.
Yeah.
Remember, if the month starts on a Sunday, you have a Friday the 13th. Yeah. So basically, we have a Halloween with a full moon. We had 2 full moons in October.
Yeah.
And then 2 weeks later, we have a Friday the 13th and a presidential election in between the two. So yeah. Go figure.
I might need to go
pick up some more ammo.
or something.
Okay, so so that gets us to 3:19 in the afternoon. Okay. My next one is the movie Something Wicked This Way Comes. It's a Disney movie. It is a Buena Vista movie. Yeah. Which was a Disney property, like when they were,
Yeah.
It came out in 83, 84, somewhere around in there.
Yeah. Okay.
It's a cool movie.
Spitball it.
Yeah, somewhere in there.
Early
mid 80s, somewhere around in there.
Yeah.
It's a Disney movie, but it's not available on Disney Plus.
Imagine that.
There's actually quite a few movies that are not available on Disney Plus.
Because they've got to be politically correct.
No, it has nothing to do with that. There's a lot of movies that just are not on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
That there's nothing to do with political correctness or any of that kind of stuff. It's just they have not put everything on there. And
By the way, I'm disappearing on Sunday.
okay.
New season of Mandalorian comes out this weekend.
Yeah, it drops on Friday,
Yeah.
on the 30th. So, yeah. Well, it's not the whole season.
I know it's the first.
This is the first episode.
Disney, you need to start dropping entire seasons.
The thing is when they did that with the first season of The Mandalorian, it worked out so well for them that they're not going to. Even Netflix and Hulu have done that a little bit, where they're not dropping entire seasons at one time. They're kind of spreading them out. So
They need to stop it.
Yeah, whatever.
I need my binging.
yeah, all right, millennials. I want it all right now.
I
I want it all right now.
I was that way before anybody knew what a millennial was. I got bad
All right.
news for you.
So Something Wicked This Guy Comes.
Yeah.
Okay, it is 95 minutes long.
Okay.
It is the entire movie is available on YouTube. You
Okay.
can watch it on there. I highly suggest it. Again, it's one of those things. It does not deal directly with Halloween, but it is very autumnal, and because it happens in October.
Yeah.
And it captures fall like you wouldn't believe.
Okay.
In this small town in the late 1800s, early 1900s, somewhere around in there. I mean, it captures it like you just would not believe. Like,
Okay.
you almost feel like you're there,
So that's about 4 hours for you then. isn't it?
Yeah, that'll get us to my next one will start at 4:54 in the afternoon.
Okay.
So you can go ahead and
Yeah. So we did 4 hours of Supernatural marathon.
Yes.
Now, one of my favorite things to do on Halloween is at some point I like to sit down and watch a couple hours of Elvira, Mistress of the Dark. And,
But you never know what movies you're going to be watching.
Well, no, because I've got a Roku, and there's usually, something like on Tubi or Vudu or one of those other.
Tubi is amazing.
Yeah.
I love Tubi because there is stuff on there that's not available anywhere else.
Like last season, I remember watching Elvira, and she was actually doing Night of the Living Dead. And
Nice.
Elvira kind of does that science mystery theater
yeah.
thing over the top of it, where
She's a horror host.
Yeah,
hostess.
She's popping in and making comments about
Right.
the movies, which is what's fun for me.
Right.
That and the fact that I happen to know that Elvira is actually naturally a redhead
Right.
under that wig. So
Cassandra, what's her last name?
yeah,
Anyways, yeah.
but I like to sit down. So
I like Elvira better.
I like the fact that I like Elvira, but underneath she's actually a redhead.
Yeah.
And my thing with redheads.
I know.
So
I know you're weird. So.
yeah, but a
For
couple.
those who don't know, Dave is actually a redhead, and then he wants the other redhead. So, like, you get two people with no souls together, and it's just like
no, that's not true. I have a soul. It just happens to belong to somebody else because I ate it.
okay.
But I'm a redhead. I married a redhead. Don't mess with us. We're a force of nature. But I like watching a couple hours of Elvira,
Right.
Because it's kind of corny, hokey fun.
Oh yeah, that is the thing about Elvira. It is very corny.
Yes.
very corny,
And it's
but
on
it's
purpose.
fun. I know. Oh
It's
yeah.
on
Oh, I know.
purpose.
I know.
It's fun.
And it's amazing.
Elvira's. I actually follow Elvira on Facebook. She's.
What is her last name? It's Cassandra.
I'm gonna find it. Cassandra Peterson.
That's it. Peterson.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, she was a groupie way back in the day. So
I'm kind of a groupie myself.
you're an Elvira groupie.
Yeah, I admit it. If Elvira's
So that
come over
takes
and
you
bite
into
me,
like what 6? You're
That takes
getting
me
okay.
to 6 p.m.
All right.
where I'll start actually
All right.
getting it. And
Let me
the first one off my list, there is
hold on.
controversy.
Let me
with.
get up to where you are
Yeah.
to begin with. Okay. Okay, so at 4:54 in the afternoon, we are going to watch the classic Halloween is Grinch Night.
What?
The cartoon Halloween is Grinch Night. You don't remember that?
No.
You've never seen that?
I have-
How did you grow up and never see that?
I've never even
It's from like
heard
the
of
late
that.
70s.
I have-
It's the Grinch, but it's a Halloween special. It's called Halloween is Grinch Night.
I have literally never heard of this
I don't
ever.
That is amazing. Anyway, yeah, all of it's available on YouTube. It's not streaming anywhere else.
I'm going to have to go watch that.
It is 25 minutes and 21 seconds long.
Okay.
Which brings us, and believe me, I've been adding the seconds together here, so all of my math is.
Yeah.
If somebody wants to go back and do it, you're going to find out that I'm right on top of this stuff. So at 5:19 in the afternoon, we're going to watch the season 1 episode of Roseanne called Boo,
Yes.
which is probably my favorite one of all of them, where it really establishes, okay, this is what the Connor family does every year. Okay,
that's the one where they built the haunted house and all of that.
Yeah. And Roseanne at the end of it, like Dan, they're pranking each other, and Dan scares her. She's like, okay, you win. At the very end of it, she's on the phone with her mom.
Yeah,
and she's like, yeah, and Dan's walking through. Is like, yeah, no, Dan's doing okay. Oh, you want to come? You want to come stay for a couple days? Well, I don't. And Dan's like sitting there going, no, tell her no.
Yeah.
And she's like, and you're gonna bring Dad too? He's like, no. Like, this weekend? No. And he's like, Roseanne, and she's like, she puts the phone up where you can hear that there's nobody on the other end. She's like, the master.
Yeah.
So that brings us, that is 22 minutes long. It is available on Hulu, Peacock. It's also available on the Peacock channel. Mm-hmm. And it's also available on Amazon Prime.
There we go.
So you can watch Roseanne. And I think Hulu has all of the Roseannes together that are deal. All the, no, well, I mean where they have a little thing for under Halloween, where they have all of the Halloween episodes under there. So that I think they do. I'm almost positive about that.
If Hulu does, that's excellent.
What I was going to say is that one of the cool things that Disney Plus has done is that they have a little tab on their front page now with all the Halloween stuff, and one of the tabs is all of the Treehouse of Horrors.
Yes.
You can just watch them one after another, and they autoplay right straight down through all of them. So, my next one, at 5:41 in the afternoon, sun's starting to ride low in the sky, and now we're going to watch Little Lonesome Ghost.
Nice.
Which, for those of you that don't know, it is a Disney short from the 1940s, somewhere in there. Again, available on Disney Plus. It's really cool. Basically, Mickey, Donald, and Goofy are Ghostbusters. Yep. And they go to a haunted house, and the ghosts are playing pranks on them and stuff. And it's a pretty cool little. I've always loved this. It is 8 minutes and 13 seconds long. It is available on Disney Channel, which brings us to 5:50 in the afternoon. Now, right here is I want to mention something.
Okay.
Sundown on Halloween is at 5:51 in the afternoon.
Okay.
So we're right now getting into. The sun is going down.
Trick or treating has just started.
Sun's going down at 5:50 in the afternoon. I bet your 6 o'clock is this exact same one.
Is there controversy involved with it this year?
It's the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown.
Okay. Yeah.
Which is available on Apple TV.
No. It's not even Apple TV. It is
Apple TV Plus.
It is
or whatever
only going to be available on Apple TV Plus. This is the first time
it's not been on network
that it
television.
has not been aired
since the 1960s.
On network television since the 1960s. I'm actually fairly angry about this. This should be on broadcast TV.
I agree. At the same time,
Apple, you have overstepped. You have overstepped many times, but this is the last time I'm.
For all of Gen X, this has been on television.
Yeah, it has.
I mean, because we all of Gen X grew up watching this. Originally on CBS, and then eventually it moved over to ABC.
Yeah.
And that's the whole thing. I always associate this and the Charlie Brown Christmas special and the Charlie Brown Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
All of those with CBS, and they would do that special presentation. But it's one of those things that when it made the move to ABC almost 20 years ago now, it just didn't feel right.
Nope.
And not only that, they also chopped all of those to pieces to add more commercials. Yeah, I mean, it's not the same as it used to be. But now, on the flip side of that,
at least it was still on broadcast TV at that point.
But on the flip side of that, there are so many DVDs and Blu-rays of this stuff out there. My mom has a copy of all of the holiday, so if I really want to, and they're also all available on YouTube, you can watch it. I mean, it's not, it really is a generational thing of the generations behind us. Yes, the millennials saw it, but the thing is the younger millennials, and especially Gen Z, who do not actually watch television, it's not affecting them whatsoever. This is really and truly affecting the younger boomers and all of Gen X.
No, you mean the older? Yeah, you're right. The
younger boomers and
all of Gen X, and a little bit
of millennials,
like,
a little bit.
Like, no, I'm going to call it Gen Y. Like at 80, 81, 82, 80, going into 83. That's more. That's for me. That's
Right.
Gen Y, and they're actually close to us in that attitude than they are the rest of the millennials.
No, I disagree.
Anyway, okay, so. It's
Not
great.
to say that I'm discriminating against millennials, but I'm discriminating against millennials. So it's the older I get,
Get off my lawn.
All right, side here.
Get off my digital lawn.
We've talked about this before, and I have been the one that really has kind of come to their defense on more than one occasion.
Yeah.
Like, look, but the older I get now, like with some more time and just kind of watching what's happening, I'm like, no, they got problems.
Yeah, I saw your little bit of your rant that you posted.
Was I wrong? Am I wrong? All right, folks. For those of you that don't follow me on Facebook or even on Twitter, I put it on Twitter as well.
You put it on
our Gen X Twitter,
our Gen X podcast Twitter.
I had the epiphany over like the weekend that.
Major derailment here.
Yes, it is. But I had the epiphany over the weekend of what's wrong with millennials. And it's the fact that from the wherever you put them on this is when it starts.
Yeah.
Okay, whether it's 1980, whether it's 83, which is where I kind of like to think it might be somewhere in there, 81, 82, 83, somewhere in there. Or like Dave likes to put them on up into 85
84.
Because of his quote unquote Gen Y thing. But it's one of those things wherever you put them on that scale, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
From day one, they have been living in a world that's been looking backwards. Okay?
I can see where you're going.
And what I'm
with
saying
that.
with that is that in the 80s, the boomers were looking backwards at the 50s and 60s, and there's a lot of media about that. And you had the Big Chill, you had the Wonder Years, all this stuff, Stand By Me. I mean, all this stuff that was very like boomer centric of looking back at this glorious time.
The boomer nostalgia.
Yeah,
Yeah.
As we moved into the 90s, Gen X kind of started looking, older Gen X especially started looking back to the 70s of, hey, Brady Bunch was really cool, and this because it's stuff that we grew up with a lot of like reruns of this stuff, And
Gilligan's Island.
Yeah, all
Scooby-Doo.
all this kind of stuff. You start getting movies like Days of Confused and whatever.
Yep.
So they're growing up in all this, and then once the 2000s rolled around, even before the 2000s rolled around, somewhere in the late 90s, the 80s came back, and they have refused to go away. They're like Hillary Clinton that way, and it's
Whoa!
yeah, I said it, and it's like, and it's like the 80s just keep hanging around. And here's the thing: I think you might have seen it. And I posted. I was at Walgreens last night.
Yeah.
And what do I see there when I'm standing in line to pay? People Magazine has a Celebrating the 80s 1985 edition.
Yeah.
Really? That's almost 40. I mean, we're 35 years ago. Why are we still talking about this? It wasn't that great of a decade. I'm sorry. It really wasn't. And so it's one of those things that with all of this, the millennials don't know how to live now. They they have been told their entire life, no, there was a better time back there somewhere. And so I understand why, the thing that gets me, though, is I don't understand why they're not more nihilistic like us. Having that kind of,
Yeah,
so
it's true.
Now, what's funny is that there's one particular political commentator that I listen to, I'm not going to go into, that is straight up, man, he was born in like 86, 85, 86, something like that.
Yeah.
And the more that I listen to him talk about being a millennial and like about the current state of things, he is sounding so Gen X, it's not even funny. I'm like, welcome to the generation, dude. Welcome.
Well, I can't think of the guy who wrote the book Gen X and all that.
Generation. It was oh God, what's the guy's name? I should know this.
Well, anyway, that guy he always said that being Gen X was more of a mindset than it was an actual.
I know. So anyway,
and I have run into I have run into some very old Gen Xers. I have run into some very young Gen Xers. That there's no way in this world they should have been Gen X, and you run into a cynical 8-year-old. It's hysterical.
Like we say, nihilism will save us all. Anyways, now that I've gone off the rails here.
Now that you've gone off the rails and ranted, I'm going to go, but things were way better back then when we were watching It's a Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown at 6 p.m. And I like to put that one on right at 6 because trick-or-treating's just started. You're getting all the younger kids that the parents are trying to get them to trick-or-treat early so they can get them home and try to get them in bed by 8 o'clock, but that's not going to...
Why would you do that on Saturday?
Well, I'm talking about normally when trick-or-treating's on a weekday. But that's the thing about some of these younger parents. It doesn't matter whether it's a weekend or not. They're trying to put their kids to bed by
Hold on. I got a rant for this
by 8 o'clock.
I got a rant for this one also, and I know you're going to agree with me.
Yeah.
For the last, 5-6 years?
Yeah.
There's been this push. Or, these people, these people are like, man... Why is Halloween? Why do we have to celebrate Halloween on a weekday? Why do we have to celebrate on a weekday? Why can't
to bring
And
this
even
up.
And last year, what was it?
Snickers.
Snickers put a thing out basically saying, look, we'll give a free Snicker to everybody, or whatever. I mean, it was a pack of Snickers or something like that. If we go ahead and declare Halloween the last Saturday of October.
Nope.
Okay. I agree. No.
Are you trying to make me mad in the middle of a podcast here?
Listen. Just listen to me here, okay? Here's the funny thing. This has been going on for a while. There's been this real push. Every year I see something, about, we gotta move it. I agree. Halloween is on October 31st. Okay,
Doesn't matter what day of the week it's on.
It is a. And here's the funny thing. Nobody ever complains that Christmas falls in the middle of the week.
No.
Nobody complains, if, whatever falls, whatever other holidays. But for some reason, Halloween is one that since I was a little kid, they've been trying to move around somewhere. Here's the thing that's funny this year, in 2020. Almost everything around here that's organized, whether it's trunk or treat or something like that, is either happening on a Wednesday night, a Thursday night, or a Saturday or a Friday night. I'm like, it's on a Saturday this year. This is what you've been angling for.
No, you don't understand. Halloween's on a Saturday now, so we can't interrupt Halloween trick-or-treating. No, we can't interrupt that. That's on
perfect.
A Saturday.
It's perfect to do it on a Saturday, It's I was laughing. I was like, man, you guys are so messed up with your logic.
Sorry. So Halloween is always on the 31st.
I know.
You should have to go door to door, trick-or-treating, not in a mall, not in a parking lot somewhere. You have to get... You may be getting free candy, but you should work your little butt off for it a little bit.
I like...
And these people that
trunk or treat is fine. I have no problem. If it's on the 31st, I have no problem with it. Okay.
This is the other one that pisses.
But the thing is that the church I used to go to, which is not that far from here, they're having it on Saturday night. They're actually having it on the day, which is awesome. But it is also in a small little town where as soon as we make the little loop around the parking lot there, we can literally walk right across the street and just start going up and down the streets. And I like that. I'm like, no, this is good. This works great for my kid. This we just right over here, and he goes up and says trick or treat and all that kind of stuff. So
now here's the thing that I get really angry about. If you're the family that at 5 o'clock shuts all the doors, turns all your lights off, and hides in the back of the house and doesn't participate in Halloween,
you deserve what you get.
You deserve what you get.
It's called trick or treat. Yes.
And honestly, if you're
and that's the traditions of Samhain.
I'm gonna, I can't believe I'm gonna say this, but my mother is one of these that turns off the lights and goes and hides in the back of the house. Now she lives in
a neighborhood that would be conducive for it. I mean, there's no sidewalks, but I get it.
It's actually an older neighborhood at this point, so she probably wouldn't get a lot. And honestly, she just had hip surgery. So
I don't get any around here.
So this year I understand it because she's, she had her hip replaced. She's kind of hobbling around. She doesn't need to be dealing with this stuff. But even when Dad was still alive, the last few years, they'd shut off the lights and hide in the back of the house. I'm like, I'm sorry. How hard is it to sit at your front door and for 3 hours It's
The
3
first year
Hand out candy.
The first year that I lived by myself, when Halloween rolled around, and I want to say that Halloween was on either a Friday or a Saturday night or something. It was something. And
Yeah.
actually, no, I think it was a Sunday.
Yeah.
I think I'd have to go back and look at the calendar. I think it was on a Sunday night. But the thing is that I went to the grocery store and spent a bunch of money on candy, and got put it in the bowl and all that kind of stuff. And I sat here, and sat here, and sat here, and saw 2 trick-or-treaters, and that was it.
But you did your duty.
I did.
You
I
put
know.
candy in a bowl and you sat at your
I know.
door and you waited for trick or
I
treaters.
know.
Now, if trick or treaters screwed up and didn't stop by your house for free candy,
Now-
that's not on you. You did your due diligence.
Again, there are not a lot of kids in my even now. There are not a lot of kids in my neighborhood. You're taking your life in your own hand, walking down my street because there are no sidewalks and very few street lights. And you're also taking your life in your hands by walking down my street at night. So it's
Hashtag support Halloween.
Yeah.
Hashtag hand out candy. Hashtag turn your freaking lights on.
that reminds me. You've seen my little
Yeah, I want one of those.
my magnet on my car is one of those. It
Support
says
Halloween.
Support Halloween on it. So.
I want one. I want one. I need to find one.
All right, now that we've ranted for a while,
Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown was at 6 p.m. So
For
that's
you.
for me because that's when
mine
the
was
little,
mine was at 5:50, so we're within
Yeah.
10 minutes of each other on it.
so little kids are coming up. So
And like I said,
Charlie Brown has a runtime of 25 minutes,
yes, it does.
and the next one for me is Nightmare Before Christmas,
Okay,
which runs an hour and 16 minutes.
which is available on Disney Plus.
Disney Plus, or like me, you own probably
Yeah,
like
that's right.
4 copies of
Yeah, I
it.
know. It's, you weirdos.
But that gets into a little bit more serious anime, but still not scary.
It's not anime.
It's cartoon.
It's cartoon. It's not anime.
What, man?
Anime is a style. That's
Whatever. You're gonna get technical.
Yeah,
whatever.
you say anime, and I immediately see girls in,
Okay, stop.
schoolgirl
Stop.
outfits. It's a prepubescent teens and schoolgirl outfits is what it comes down to, and tentacles, lots and lots of tentacles. So
All right, all I'm gonna say is he's watching the wrong. Bad Alan. Bad Alan.
I'm talking about Sailor Moon. I don't know what you're talking about.
Anyway, Nightmare Before
And
Christmas.
no, I don't watch anime.
It's okay. It's stop action anime because that's actually what it is. It's
Stop motion, yeah.
Stop motion.
Yeah. It's not anime. Animation? Is that what you're trying to say?
Sure.
Okay.
Why not? Whatever it takes to shut you up from it.
You should know better.
It's a little bit darker, but it's not scary enough that it's going to upset the little kids.
Great music.
Awesome
Love
music.
the music in it.
Love the actual covers by the different bands.
Marilyn Manson's cover of This Is Halloween is
Yes.
amazing.
Yes, it is. So that gets me 6:30,
I'll let you do the math while I'm
like
doing mine.
6:45.
So like I said,
So I'm almost to
sunset is
7
at
o'clock.
5:51, so we set into that. Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown, 25 minutes, like Dave said, brings my list to 6:15 in the evening,
Yeah.
and this is one of my all-time favorite anythings ever. It is Disney's animated The Legend of Sleepy Hollow.
Yes, absolutely. That one's awesome.
Love this. It is available on Disney Plus. It's in the Ichabod and Mr. Toad collection.
Yep.
Man, I love this. Again, I love this. The runtime on it is 33 minutes and 9 seconds, and you can't. And the thing is that there's a lot of build up to the end of it, but once it finally gets to the chase
Yep.
with the Headless Horseman, it is some of the best action and animation and anything you have ever seen on film.
Yeah.
For that last,
This one,
Yeah.
this brings back a total Gen X memory, and this is, I think we were still living in Kentucky at the time,
Mm-hmm.
and this was back when on, like the Friday before a holiday, they
Right.
you would hear that cart rolling down the hallway.
oh, you can watch it on the
You'd hear that wheel squeaking, and then all of a sudden the librarian would walk into the classroom with the projector and that tape player.
Oh,
or,
yeah?
or the record player, because sometimes it was the record player.
I have the record of
Yeah.
this. Now, the funny thing is that the record is not Bing Crosby, because Bing Crosby narrates this and does
Yeah.
all the singing and everything. The record is not Bing Crosby, but it's someone who sounds an awful lot like him.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do have
But-
that. I have that record also.
But
I
you know,
love that thing.
I can smell the classroom. I can smell the leaves outside. And they set up that projector, and the sound of that 16 millimeter projector rolling, and the scratch on the record, and that movie playing, and we all got to go down to the bookstore and get us a candy bar or something.
I know. They used to always run
Such
it.
happy memories.
I remember they would always run when I was a kid. Disney, the Wonderful World of Disney.
Yeah.
It would come on ABC. They would always have a Halloween special on Halloween night, whatever night of the week it was on.
Yep.
And they would always run. It wasn't the, and I probably should have put this on here but it's like a big long. Disney had this thing. It was called Disney's Halloween Treat.
Yeah.
It started off on the Disney Channel proper, and then it eventually went over to Wonderful World of Disney.
Yeah.
Hour and a half-ish long. It's all available on YouTube. You can find it. And it's just clips from different things that Disney's done over the years. And it's like, eventually they kind of co-opted it into something else where it was hosted by the Magic Mirror,
Yeah.
But the thing is like that was a part of the show. It really wasn't hosted by anyone.
Yeah.
It just kind of had like a voiceover. They never said who it was or anything,
And then they finally put,
Then they did the
a
Magic
little
Mirror thing or whatever.
animation
Yeah,
of
I
the
know.
Magic Mirror.
But the what they would show this every year. This was the final thing that they would show in
Yeah.
that Disney thing, and not in the Halloween Treat, but just in their Wonderful World of Disney Halloween special.
Yeah.
This was always the last thing that they showed, and they usually they didn't show the entirety of it, but they would show the last about half of it.
Yeah.
Like, because let's be honest, it's 33 minutes long, 33 minutes and 9 seconds, and the first 3/4 of it is all set up. It's not until they actually get to the harvest ball that things really start
Yeah.
to go where we're going to go. And that's like the last quarter of this. So,
Yeah.
but I love this. I have it on DVD, or actually I have it on Blu-ray, because they put a collection of it out.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, of the Ichabod and Mr. Toad. And the Wind in the Willows, the Mr. Toad part that's on
Yeah.
there is not bad, but it's not. It's not this.
Yeah. No.
So anyways, that brings us to I'm at 6:48 in the evening, and this
I'm sitting at about the same time right now.
season 2 episode of The Simpsons, which is the first Treehouse of Horror.
What episode? You said season 2, no episode number.
I don't know what episode number it is,
Okay.
but it's the first Simpsons Treehouse of Horror,
yeah.
which was in season 2. It was not in season 1 because
Treehouse of Terror.
Treehouse of Horror.
Horror?
Yeah. The first, people usually forget or weren't alive to know this. The first season of The Simpsons is only like 13 or 14 episodes, and it literally started off with a Christmas special, and then came on in January and ran to the end of that season. So it was a mid-season thing.
Yeah.
And then the second season was the first full season, and that's when they did this. And that's where we're introduced to Kang and Kodos, and the wonderful The Raven, Edgar Allan Poe,
Yeah.
where they do it like note for note, like they do the entire Raven, and they have. It's wonderful. I mean, it is wonderful.
Nice.
So now there are other ones that are really good, but I think this first one is probably the best one. That is 23 minutes and 46 seconds, which brings me to 7:12 in the evening. Like I said, with the Disney stuff, or that with the Simpsons stuff, it's all available on Disney Plus now, so you can watch it there. So,
Okay.
anyways, what you got next?
The next two slots, now, the first two, Charlie, Great Pumpkin, Nightmare on Christmas, those are always the same. I never rotate those. The next two slots, I tend to rotate stuff into.
Okay.
The first one, I do some kind of really good horror movie, but nothing real gory.
Okay.
More like a thriller or something like that. So because there's still some kids coming by, we're getting into like the 7 and 8 o'clock hour, and this year I'm going with Trick or Treat. you introduced me to Trick or Treat last year, and it has become one of my regular rotations.
And it's wonderful.
Yeah.
And I mean, Sam is getting all the love that he deserves in the last couple of years.
I
So it's
finally got my Sam Funko Pop.
Yeah, I know. I did too. So I'm sitting here with the Sam mug, and
Yeah.
it's so yeah.
So the first one I'm doing is this year, which is more fun horror than it is gory horror.
Right.
I'm doing Trick or Treat.
Okay.
That's an hour and 22 minutes. That puts me right about 8:30 or so.
Okay. My next one is also called Trick or Treat, but it's not that Trick or Treat. It's another Disney short.
Okay.
It's Donald Duck with Huey, Dewey, and Louie.
Oh, I remember this
Yeah,
one.
and you know the song Trick or Treat.
Yep.
Trick or treat for Halloween.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, available on Disney. You see, there's a lot of Disney.
Yo,
on here,
a lot of Disney.
But it's one of those things that I grew up watching all this stuff, and I love them. Yeah, I mean, I love this stuff. It is available on Disney Plus as well. It is 8 minutes and 9 seconds long. I actually have the record of this also.
Nice.
Which is really cool. So that brings me to 7:20 in the evening.
Okay.
We're still kind of in that. All right. But here's where things start to turn off a little scary.
Okay.
Because right now is when we are going to watch the 1983 music video for Thriller.
Nice.
Yes.
Now, is this
Michael
the-
Jackson's Thriller.
Is this the extended version?
It's
with
13
all-
minutes and
Nice.
42 seconds long. Not just the. It's like it starts off with them on the date and at the
Yeah.
movie, or and the car breaks down and blah blah blah. And
Yeah.
you come to find out it's a movie, and it goes all the way through and blah blah blah. 13 minutes, 42 seconds long, is available on YouTube.
Yes, it is.
Brings us to 7:33 in the evening, and this is where we watch the Monster Squad.
Okay.
79 minutes. It is available on Prime and Vudu.
Okay.
Those are the only two places you can find this. It's not on Netflix. It's not on Hulu. It's not on anything. But it is available on Amazon Prime and Hulu.
Okay.
And that brings me to that's at 7:33. So that will bring me to 8:52 in the evening. Go ahead.
So I'm sitting at about around 8:30 at this point.
Okay.
Most of the little kids have gone. There's only like a half an hour of trick-or-treating left. I'm going for a full-on slasher at this point.
Okay.
And I rotate these around, but this year I think I'm going with the second horror movie I ever saw, Friday the 13th, Part 3.
Okay.
Because it's been several years since I've seen it. You know, a lot of times this is Halloween, or this is Nightmare on Elm Street, or, you know, sometimes it's Child's Play, sometimes, you know, it's... You know, by 8:30, I'm ready for a good, gory, full-blooded slasher.
Right.
At this point.
Nice.
And Friday the 13th, it's an hour and a half.
Okay.
So 8:30, 9:30, 10 o'clock.
We're around 10 o'clock. Okay.
Yeah.
My next one at 8:52 in the evening is the old Silly Symphonies, The Skeleton Dance.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
That's a good one.
Yes, it is. Again, it's available on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
I love a lot of those Silly Symphonies from back then. You know, that and the Old Mill, and you know, different, you know, that type of stuff. You know, from the 30s and 40s. You know, and everything. That Skeleton Dance is just amazing on top of it, all the animation and everything. So that is 5 minutes and 32 seconds. Also available on YouTube, but you know, it's a brings me to 8:58 in the evening.
Okay.
And this is where we watch 1978's John Carpenter's masterpiece, Halloween.
Absolutely.
It is 91 minutes long. It is available on AMC, Shudder, and Prime.
Or if you're like me, it's...
You own it. I own
Yeah,
it also. I know.
own
I have it on Blu-ray, so it's... I remember I bought that combo. It's the original Halloween and the 2018 Halloween.
The Rob Zombie.
No, the 2018
2018.
Halloween.
Okay, yeah,
Which
you're right.
Yeah, that came out 2 years
Yeah.
ago. It's both of them. They were packaged together. I'm like, oh, this is cool. This is okay. Yeah, I'm down with this.
Honestly, sometimes, you know, I'll do the John Carpenter Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
I've been known to flip it up and actually do the Rob Zombie Halloween.
If you do the Rob Zombie Halloween, you better damn sure make sure there's no kids around
Yeah,
because that thing is intense. It's
That's
not
true.
for kids.
No.
So
And the first half hour, that's not so bad.
okay,
It's not so bad.
if you say so. The first half hour of that first one of the Rob Zombie.
Yeah, it's not terrible.
Okay. Yeah, you got a completely different parenting set of skills than I do.
I don't have kids. I don't have kids.
It's like he kills his rat, he kills his sister and her boyfriend, and it's like
It's not overly bloody though.
no, but there's overly nudity in it though. It's
Oh, I forgot about that.
Here's the thing about
you might
that.
be right.
I remember like watching that the first time, and like the was it Judith Myers,
Yeah.
his sister that he kills. I kept sitting there looking at her going, I know her from somewhere. Like I can't remember what movie or whatever. So I finally went and looked it up.
Yeah.
You know and again she gets naked in the movie, you know, that kind of stuff. But you know what she played, like what famous role she played?
No.
She was the young Jenny in Forrest Gump. Yeah.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Oh, no!
You know, the run, Forrest, run. That was her.
No!
Ruined that one for you, didn't I?
Yeah! Oh no!
Yeah. Anyway.
Okay,
So,
wow. Yeah.
So, what was your next? Where were
I'm sitting at 10 o'clock.
You're sitting. Okay, go ahead because my next one's at 10:30.
10 o'clock, is that right?
Yeah, you're around 10 o'clock. Yeah,
10:30. Yeah.
10 o'clock.
Okay. So now I've got my slasher
Okay.
out, and I probably got 3 bowls of chili in me at this point.
Okay.
And I'm gonna sit in my chair, and I'm probably
So you're having an explosive good time, huh?
okay. One of our traditions for Halloween is this is always the first time we make chili for the fall.
Okay.
We have chili for Halloween.
Nice. I actually had chili watching the ball game the other day, so
Nice. So I will probably fall asleep in my chair watching Night of the Living Dead.
So that's your out.
That's
from 10:30
to just
or from 10 till
10 to like it's an hour.
Midnight-ish, yeah.
It's an hour and 36 minutes, so it's like 11:30 or
okay. So you have a little time.
10, 11, 36.
It's funny because when you sent me that the other day, you were actually a little over. So I think maybe you got your math off there.
Yeah,
a little bit,
I'm probably
so,
off. Yeah, it's
a few
probably
minutes, that's
it's
fine.
probably ending just a little bit
That's
after
fine.
midnight or something.
I have 2 more things on mine. But
But-
go ahead and talk about them.
But I've got slasher,
Mm-hmm.
so I'm keyed up. I've got my fill of bloodshed and kill and gore, and you get the little blood pumping a little bit. Pop in Night of the Living Dead. It's a nice kind of even paced, calm little Halloween movie, and I'll fall asleep in my chair to it.
Nice. Okay.
I used to fall asleep listening to heavy metal.
Oh, I know. I used to do the same thing too. 10:29 in the evening.
Yeah.
I am watching the final segment of Fantasia, Night on Bald Mountain.
Nice.
It runs
Nice.
11 minutes and 30 seconds.
Yours is like all cartoon.
A lot of it, but
with
here's
the
the
exception
thing.
of Halloween.
Not really. I mean, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I got 10 cartoon animated something
Yeah.
or others on here, yeah. But the thing is that like, with the skeleton dance, that's not kiddie cartoon. And Night on Bald Mountain is not kiddie cartoon.
No, not by any
Yeah.
means.
And I like that because I have Halloween, and then I have this as kind of a,
Yeah.
okay, it's 10:30. We're going to be approaching the witching hour before long.
Yeah.
This is kind of this is kind of gearing things up here, okay? Because at 10:41 in the evening,
Okay.
I'm watching Trick or Treat because that's the only way to end Halloween.
Okay.
It's the only way to end Halloween. And it runs until 12:02 a.m.
Nice.
So I got it to within 2 minutes of
Nice.
12 hours.
If I had gotten my timing right while we were talking about this, mine actually ended up for a total run time of 6 hours 14 minutes. So if I adjusted or whatever, it would probably I'd be getting done about
somewhere in there. Yeah,
12, 14.
and it's one of those things I had to do some adjusting to get it to, because
Yeah.
it was like, well, if I put this in here, I had to like really kind of. I spent a lot of time on this. Okay, as you can tell. Like last night, I was laying in bed and I was doing math. Like, okay, putting stuff in there.
Yeah.
Like, okay, and so this one has, and I was like adding the seconds up and everything of like, okay, how I was really afraid I was gonna really overshoot the midnight. I wanted it to end somewhere relatively close.
See, you're lucky that I messed up and thought, well, from 6 to midnight instead of from noon to midnight.
Oh, I know. Your list would have been twice as long as mine. And it's just
Well, no, because I tend to do more long form movies.
Right.
You did a lot of shorts and
I
cartoons
did.
and all that. I tend to do, if I'm going to do like a marathon like that, I like long run movies.
Well,
I'll do complete movies.
I have one. Let's see. I have Hocus Pocus, which is a feature length.
Yeah.
I have. Oh wow! I have that. I have the Monster Squad. I have Halloween and so I have 4 movies on here. No, I have 5 because Something Wicked This Way Comes.
Yeah,
I have
that's true.
5 movies on here.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of like stuff in between, and it was one of those things that I was making. Is like I knew I was going to start with the haunted history of Halloween. I knew I was going to end with Trick or Treat.
Yeah.
It was all about filling in, and I really did, because like I have in my notes here sunset at 5:51 p.m. because I was like, no, this is where I want to start actually doing more nighttime, like Legend of Sleepy Hollow or the Treehouse of Terror or that Disney Trick or Treat cartoon where it's like dealing with the actual trick or treating or at night, where Halloween night stuff.
What I like is you wanted to end with Trick or Treat.
Right.
I wanted to do trick or treating while there was still actually some trick or treating going on.
Well, again, a lot of that comes down to I would not watch Trick or Treat while my son was still awake, because
I get that.
That it's kind of an intense movie. As much as I was really hopeful to actually get him to dress as Sam this year.
Yeah.
And he does have the little lollipop, He picked that out when we went to Spirit one day. He was like, oh, and he kept calling it a magic wand. I'm like, no, dude, that is not a magic wand.
It depends on how you look at it.
Yeah, it magically makes people dead, But he'll walk around the house carrying it and stuff. I'm like, if I can just get that onesie and that burlap sack on his head, the burlap sack on his head. That's Although that sounds really terrible. So
I can make a comment there, but I won't.
Yeah. But it's one of those things that like I love. I do every year. I make a list, and some of this stuff appears on it sometimes, and some of it doesn't. It just kind of depends on what. A couple of years ago, the only thing on here that appeared on my list was the Monster Squad. Like that was the only one. And like I guess it was more than a couple of years ago, I made it, and I had like I have digital copies of a lot of this stuff. Yeah. I mean, I have physical copies of it. Like I've actually purchased them, but I had digital copies of a lot of them, and I had them all on a thumb drive.
Yeah, so you just plug it in and go.
And I plugged it in on my I guess at the time it was a PS3. Just tells you how long ago it was. My stepdaughter was watching all the stuff on there, and she watched the Monster Squad. She watched, a bunch of different stuff. Nothing real bad. I mean, she was probably 8, 9 years old, 10 years old, maybe, at the time. So it was one of those things where, she was really enjoying watching my playlist, Now, there was a point where I was like, no, we're going to turn this off because you don't need to watch It Follows. Or which there's nothing really bad with it. It Follows. It Follows is a great horror movie. Yeah. I love that movie.
But it's a horror movie.
But it's a horror movie. It is a lot scarier than some of the other stuff that was on there.
For 8-year-olds.
Yeah.
Well, I don't. Miss Nay and I don't have kids. We weren't able to have kids, so I don't have to worry about a lot of that. And honestly, the only 2 movies on here.
Now, don't get me wrong. I let my kid watch stuff that maybe other parents would be like, "What the you doing?"
Yeah. That somehow doesn't surprise me, but really, Charlie Brown, Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown, and Nightmare Before Christmas. Those are always on the list. The other ones always tend to rotate out a little bit. Right. It seems like the last few years I've always had Night of the Living Dead on there somewhere. Now, this year, if the weather turns out right, I'm trying to set up a makeshift movie projection screen out in the yard and do fire pit, projection screen, and hand out candy out in the yard. But I'm going to be playing like the Universal Monsters on that screen. You know, as people are coming up and trick-or-treating, we're going to be watching Universal Monsters.
As I said,
I hope.
I forget what episode.
I can make it work.
I forget what episode. I think it might have been the last episode. I talked about last year taking my son trick-or-treating and walking up, and someone was playing Black Sabbath.
Yeah.
I was like, this is awesome.
Yeah.
This is awesome. Yes, this person gets Halloween.
Yeah. But I thought, how cool would that be that there's people sitting out in the front yard, there's a fire going, and
Right.
that's Frankenstein.
Yeah. Right.
You know, on the
And
front
those
house.
Universal Monsters, yeah, dude, those movies are so good.
Yeah.
I mean, even the bad ones are good.
Oh, yeah.
That's the thing. When you get down the line on some of the sequels that they
Yeah.
obviously don't have the same budget and they can't get some of the big names back and stuff, they're still good.
Yeah.
Like, they're still good. And I really want that Blu-ray box set that they put out a couple of years ago
Oh, I
that
do
has like
too,
all 60
but
of the films or whatever
Who
it
can
was.
afford it? Isn't
It is
something like
expensive.
$800
No.
or something?
No. It's over $100, brand new. But it's got all of them. It even has the Abbott and Costello movies.
Nice.
Like Elvin
Isn't that like the Criterion?
It's not
collection or
Criterion. No, it's a
something?
Universal put it out.
Okay,
I mean,
yeah.
it's because it's one of those, they own all those movies, but they actually included, Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein,
Yeah.
Meet the Wolfman, that kind of stuff, because they got Lon Chaney and Boris Karloff to come in and do those movies, and they are Universal movies, and they are Universal monster movies, so all of those are in there. And I'm like, yes, give me all of that. Give me all of it. So-
Yeah. It'd be nice to have a copy of that.
Now, that collection that you bought
Yeah,
is a good one.
Well, it was only 4 movies. It
But
was
still.
like Dracula and Frankenstein.
It was Dracula, Frankenstein, Wolfman, and was
I think-
it Creature?
no, I
Or no,
think
it was
it
the
was-
Mummy. It was the Mummy.
Was it the Mummy or was it Bride of Frankenstein?
It was the Mummy, because it was 4 different creatures. And that's the thing, like with what I had said about the Monster Squad on my tag on the last episode as well, is that is the Universal Monsters that they did. Now, it wasn't the Universal Monsters. Here's an interesting thing I did not know. Remember me telling the story about meeting the guy that played Pumpkinhead?
Yeah.
Okay.
And Lance freaking
I know.
Hendrickson.
Well, I was talking to him,
Yeah.
and this was right after Stan Winston died. The makeup artist, and all that stuff. And this guy was friends with Stan Winston. Like he was, and he was talking about, because Stan Winston did the Pumpkinhead, like all the makeup and everything. And I had said, and he was kind of going down Stan Winston stuff, like, and he said something about the Monster Squad. I was like, I love the Monster Squad. He's like, here's an interesting story. The Wolfman in the Monster Squad is actually Stan Winston's face.
Really?
Yes, Stan Winston actually used his own face as a model for the Wolfman makeup.
Oh,
So,
that's cool.
yeah. So
That's nice.
I know.
Well, it's always cool when the behind the scenes guys
I know,
are able
I know.
to put a little of their own personality
I know,
out into
so-
the camera area.
But that was Stan Winston did so much good work, and it's really on display in the Monster Squad. Now, the Monster Squad is very much like the Goonies in that.
Yeah,
when
that's
we were
what you-
growing up.
that's what you were saying.
When we were growing up, there were movies like The Monster Squad or The Goonies or Adventures in Babysitting or
Yeah, that was a good one.
Let's see, what's some of the other ones? Where basically it's, hey, we're putting kids in danger here, and we're marketing this to kids, but they're really not kids' movies.
Yeah.
And Monster Squad has got some pretty.
Yeah.
It's got some really intense horror in it. I'm like, really intense horror. And it's got some really off-color jokes that preteen kids in the 80s would have made.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not, you get a bunch of preteen boys hanging around, and,
Yep.
and one of them's got a hot older sister, and there's going to be some stuff that's said. And admittedly, There are a couple of things that are said that have not aged well. A certain F word gets thrown around a couple of times that would not fly today whatsoever.
I mean,
But again, this was 1987,
Yeah.
and times were different. So I'm going ahead and say that if you watch the Monster Squad, just know that there's going to be some homophobic slurs thrown around in this thing pretty openly. But you also have to remember that it was 1987.
1987.
It was a completely different time than now. So yeah. So I would not endorse those slurs. I'm just saying they're there, and so yeah.
It's
so
more of
talk
giving
to your
you-
kids.
It's more of giving you a heads up just in case.
Just talk to your kids, okay? It's kind of like anything else, It's like, yeah, you don't want my kids listening to Eminem. Fine, talk to them. It's like, it's okay. We just talk to your kids. Everything will be okay. So
Talk to your kids.
There's my parenting advice for for this one. And obviously, don't let Dave, pick out their programming to watch.
Yeah, I'm more of the cool older uncle.
Me and your Uncle Dave are going to have a talk.
Yeah, I see a lot of that in my future with my niece.
Yeah. Believe me, I was that uncle, or actually more of a older cousin for a long time. Where it was like every once in a while, I would walk into a family gathering and my cousins, I had like hung out with the kids for a while or something. I come walking in and she would have this look on her face. It's like, oh, what did they repeat? It's like,
Yeah.
I was already like in my head, like, all right, get your defense together for whatever it was. What was it? Just going down the line.
What'd I do? What'd I do this time? What'd I do this time? Yeah, that's gonna be me. I'm the cool old guy, the uncle and all that. I'll probably be getting in a lot of trouble. I've already been in a lot of trouble. Let's call it like it is. I've been in a lot of trouble.
All right, guys, this has been fun, but Oktoberfest is coming to an end.
It's so sad.
I know, and we yet again, we have to say goodbye. But I would like to say this as we're on the way out, as we have said every episode this year and last year. This is the most wonderful time of the year.
It's the most wonderful time of the year.
It's not necessarily, the Halloween is cool, but it's just the fact of it's the fall of the year.
Yeah.
And I don't care what anybody says, the fall of the year is magical.
Yes.
And it is in mine and Dave's opinion, the most wonderful time of the year. And we really hope that you've been enjoying this year. I know 2020's had its ups and downs. It's got a lot of
2020's
downs.
kind of been its own horror movie.
But remember, Halloween can bring us all together.
Turn your lights on and give out some candy already.
Get out and trick or treat. Take your kids out. Dude, they're wearing masks. So it's not like it's...
Hey, if it's mandated, they're already wearing
They're
the
already
mask.
wearing a mask. That's right. So
Hey, and just so you know, those plastic masks, they're the ones that can't breathe.
yeah, hey,
So-
exactly. We all almost suffocated in those things back in the day.
But Oktoberfest may be over.
Right.
But we've still got fall going on.
Oh, absolutely.
We got Thanksgiving's
coming up, which
there's still plenty of time for bonfires and fire pits
Absolutely.
and bowls and bowls of chili.
As a matter of fact, I've got a
And-
huge pile of
Yeah,
stuff
we're
out
gonna
here that
burn
needs
that
to be
thing.
burned, and I'm hoping to do it this weekend.
I'm looking
So-
forward, some of the little village market up the road from my house, they deal with a lot of Amish stuff, and the
nice,
apple
nice.
cider's getting ready to
Oh, there
start
you go,
coming
there you go.
in. And
There you go. And remember, with pumpkins are still they're gonna be
Yeah.
in for another month and a half. Another month anyway. It
Yeah,
usually at the
more
end
like,
of
more like 3 weeks.
now. I've already seen Christmas ads on television. I know. Lowe's really hacked me off this last Sunday watching football, and I was just like, "Oh my goodness!"
Lowe's has had Christmas.
I know. I posted a picture of that.
Yeah.
When I walked in, right at the end of September, over at the local Lowe's, say that 3 times fast. They had their Halloween stuff up,
Yeah.
but they had it all pushed back over in a corner,
Yeah.
and then right there was
And for like 40% off.
yeah, and right there was the Christmas stuff,
Yeah.
immediately. I was like, "You've got to be kidding me!" So
it's legal that if somebody puts out their Christmas
can
decorations,
shoot them?
No, you're allowed to kill them and put them on your front
your
porch
Halloween,
for Halloween decor.
decorations. I know.
The other thing, people who put out their Christmas decorations, it's the reason their Thanksgiving macaroni and cheese is going to be dry because God don't like ugly.
Oh, there you go. That's Well, it's was it California put out their mandates this year for like Thanksgiving gatherings.
Yeah.
And one of our Corey, who's been on the
Yeah.
show before, posted a thing. And it's like, so you can only have 5 people
For
get together for Thanksgiving, but you can have 30 for a funeral. So we're going to get together and celebrate the
passing of
the passing of our pet turkey. It's
Yep, on the 26th. Yep.
Yeah, I know.
In lieu of flowers, bring sides.
Exactly. So, but it is one of those things that we love this time of year, and this is the final episode for this time of year. Go ahead and do it. I know you're waiting to do it.
Oktoberfest.
You don't have to hear that for another year. So it's
Don't give me toys and tell me I can't play with them.
But it's just one of those things that we love this. We hope you guys enjoy it. We hope you enjoy, like, at least go down and look at our list of stuff and maybe pick some stuff out for your kids or for yourself to watch.
Hey, and don't forget, we had an entire episode last time of, other horror movies from the 80s.
Absolutely. And
If you haven't seen Jacob's Ladder in a while, you really should
that's
watch
not a
that
nudies
one.
movie.
Well, 90s movie, but it's still a good
You
horror
couldn't
movie.
stay inside the boundaries. I gave you a whole decade, and you still couldn't stay inside the boundaries.
No, but I stayed within. I did 6 hours instead of 12 on this one.
Still.
So
anyways, guys, thank you so much. Go. All of our stuff is in the notes. How to get get in touch.
all
with
the
us and
social
everything.
medias,
all the social medias, our
Project
email,
GenXpod.
caffeine and sleeping pills. I promise I'm going to get some new material up there. A lot's been going on over the last little bit. So
Yeah, it's been crazy.
But also, what I was going to say, thank you very much for listening.
Yes.
So far, October 2020 has been our highest download that we've had, and this hadn't even dropped yet. So it's like,
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, this is actually the last 3 months has been really good.
Guys,
now,
we thank you so much.
especially considering that earlier in the year, I mean, we legitimately went to the lowest amount of downloads that we've had since we've been doing this thing. Like, I was like, are we going to be able to continue? Because this just keeps dropping lower and lower and lower from that to like some of our highest download, which means there's more of you guys listening, which is awesome. And we love that. Tell everybody, tell your friends, tell your neighbors, tell your enemies.
Please,
go
to Apple Podcasts. Do us a favor,
give us a like.
Give us a like. Write us a review. Go to Stitcher. Write us a review. Go to Spotify. We're not on Spotify.
We're not on Spotify. There's a reason we're not on Spotify.
Forget Spotify.
Oh, let me rant here just for a second, okay?
Wow, it's been a show of rants from Alan.
Here's it kind of has been. So one of the podcasts I listen to, starting in January, is going to be exclusively on the.
Okay, just go ahead and say the name.
No, it's going to be on Apple Music exclusively, because Apple started doing podcasts, or not Apple, sorry, Amazon Music exclusively.
Okay,
because Amazon started doing started hosting podcasts recently. We know that Joe Rogan is going to be exclusive on Spotify starting in December.
Yeah.
Podcasting is getting to be like streaming services all of a sudden, where you have to you have to listen to this one over here, and you have to listen to this one over here, and you have to listen to this. That's crap. I'm sorry. That is
you're
crap.
Right. That's absolute garbage.
And I mean, and the thing is that I really love the Joe Rogan podcast. I don't know that I'm going to follow him to Spotify.
Here's my. I've tried to listen to the Rogan podcast over on Spotify, and my main complaint about Spotify's podcasting service is with Apple Podcast. I can listen to it, and I get to work, and I hit pause, and I close the app.
And you come back and you start in the exact same spot.
And when I come back and I start in the car, it starts in exactly the same spot.
It's not like that with streaming, because that's what Spotify is. It's streaming.
Yeah. Now, what I found with the Spotify stuff is that I listen to it, I hit pause, I shut the app, I go into work, I come out at the end of the day expecting to be able to pick up right where I ended, and it'll be 20 minutes back into something I've already listened to. It won't hold my spot.
Right.
And if it won't hold my spot, I'm probably not going to continue using it.
Exactly. And that's why I love, like I don't use Apple.
Stitcher does the same thing that Apple does. If I pause it at a place and close the app,
And you
it
come
picks
back,
it back
picks it
up right there.
See, I use
Stitcher.
Overcast. I use Overcast. I've been using it for several years now.
Yeah.
And I love it because it's one of those things. It's like, if it's not listed in their stuff, all you gotta do is pull the RSS feed over into it, and it's there from there on.
Yeah.
And that's it.
I think
usually,
that's the same with Stitcher.
Usually, if it's in Apple Podcast,
it's in the rest
on
of them.
It's on
Yeah.
Overcast or
Stitcher
Podcast, or was it what's some of the other Podcast Addict or any of the other ones?
Yeah.
But it's still one of those things where this whole exclusivity. Oh, you mean I'm going to have a bunch of different apps on my phone to where I'm going to be able to listen to the podcast I listen to? It's just stupid, That's the whole thing. We complained for years and years and years and years and years about cable. About I don't want 400 channels. I want to be able to. I want this one and I want this one. And I want a la carte where I can pull it. Well, we've kind of gotten that now. But the problem is that now you have to subscribe to Netflix and Hulu and Peacock and Disney Plus and blah, blah. And it's like all of a sudden it's like I'm paying the same amount of money for a bunch of stuff that I'm not going to watch the same way as I was before. And it's not as easy to get to them all.
The broadcasters figured out how to screw up
I know.
a la carte,
I know.
just like they figured out how to screw up cable.
Exactly. And with that final rant. This has been a very
and you know who's responsible for all of it, don't you? The stinking accountants.
Well, since I broke our rule about politics earlier, do you want to say anything about the election coming up?
No.
This is all I'm going to say about the election.
No, don't.
No, this is all. This is it. And I say this every time. Go vote. That's it.
Okay.
Go vote. That's it.
All right.
I mean that I say that every year. Okay, another rant. So I was talking to. That's
the last time I bring candy in here because now I've got.
I got candy and I got coffee both. And I'm just like, "Rah!" And I also had like a Mountain Dew before we came in here, so I am just like bouncing off the walls right now.
You almost went into a full Beavis there for a minute. Don't ever go full Beavis.
It's funny. God, I can't believe we're getting into politics here.
Don't.
No, I was talking to my ex like a week ago. Okay, and
Which
she was
one?
My most current ex.
Okay,
the one that I talked to.
Okay,
my son, my son's mom.
Okay,
and and she was, and something came up about the election. I said something about I'll be glad when this stupid election's over because I'm tired of hearing about it. And she asked me if I was voting for a certain candidate, and I said no. And she's like, "Oh, so you're voting for the other one?" I said no. She kind of looked at me funny, and I was like, "Look, I did the same thing 4 years ago. I went to the polls, I voted in everything except the presidential election because at that point in 2016 I said, if these are the best two candidates you can give me, I'm not voting." And I'm at the same place this year. And again, she looked at me like really weird because 4 years prior to that in 2012, but it was one of those things where I was like, we need to go vote, and it was one of those things. I knew who she was voting for, and we were not voting for the same person, but it was very important to me at that point that she go and vote because I very much believe that we live in the best country in the world, and the fact that we can go and vote,
you need to,
is because there are people in the world who do not get that opportunity, that luxury, But it was one of those things that from there to 4 years later, all of a sudden I'm like, I'm not voting for these idiots.
Yeah.
That shows you kind of what has happened in my life in just a very short amount of time of 4 years of like, no, it's very important. I know you don't feel great right now, but I'll take you over there and I'll walk you in, that kind of stuff, because I think it's so important that you vote. And then 4 years later, I'm like, I'm not voting for either one of these idiots.
Well, because my schedule's been so busy, I'm like, I haven't been able to early vote. I'm not going to be able to. I might have to go day of. So I've already pulled up the sample ballot and looked at everything. And there's 3 places that I'm actually going to write myself into.
I thought about that.
Because-
I thought about just writing my own name in there. I was like, this is yeah. You know what? I think I should be president. Why not? You know?
I mean, there's
Vote Alan for president
no,
this
don't
year.
do that. No, don't. Folks,
I'm starting my campaign right now.
folks, as much as I love my friend, don't vote for this man.
Write it in. Alan Smith for president.
No, don't vote for this man. If this man runs for president, I'm gonna have to find a candidate to run against him.
I'm running on the no bullshit candidate.
First off, I know you're already lying through your teeth as a politician, so that's all I'm gonna say there.
Anyways, guys, go vote. We've already gotten way off the.
Wow, no more! Stop eating the candy. You have run off the rails. This train is on fire.
I know I'm going to hear about this one. So anyway,
you was talking about our listenership going up. It just bottomed out. Thank you very much.
hey, well, you know.
Anyway, I am Big Dave.
And I am Alan Smith. Guys, have a happy Halloween. And we love you all. And thank you once again for listening.
Turn your lights on and give out candy.
And come back and listen to us next time because we're going to get back to regular episodes again.
Yep.
Of
whatever. He'll come up with a topic. He won't tell me about it, and then I'll have to riff for 50 minutes. Or so.
Well, whatever. Never mind. See you later, guys.
See ya.
On October 31st, 2020. What was that noise?
That was a little weird.
That was weird.
That was
outside too.
That was outside too.
Huh.
Is that door locked?
Yeah.
I mean, we're only like 3 days off of Halloween.
I know.
Here.
I think we have to worry more about the gangbangers than we have to worry about the ghosts, though. I think it was a dog.
I hope that was a dog.
It sounded like a dog whining. Anyway, now that we do, now I got to go and edit this. This will
just leave it in there.
All of this will be like on the end of the episode.
That was weird.
Okay,
Supernatural.
So, starting at noon.
Elvira's. I actually follow Elvira on Facebook. She's.
What is her last name? It's Cassandra.
I'm gonna find it. Breaking out the magic witch box. This may take a minute.
Here's an interesting fact about her.
Yeah.
Lost her virginity to Tom Jones.
Really?
Yes.
Cassandra Peterson.
That's it. Peterson.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, no, she was a groupie way back in the day. So.